Hey, Michael, my name is Sus,
And my name is
Nayan. Names. Humans give each other dolphins. They use whistle sounds and will respond to their whistle. Personal names personalize human dolphins. Personal names personalize Sydneyans. Personal names personalize things, signifying that the named thing is capable of feeling, that it's worthy of empathy. The nations declared that every human child born on Earth has the right to a name. Every country on Earth has ratified the treaty, except for 3: South Sudan, Somalia, and the United States, the newest country on Earth, which has no central government. Why? Well, Sus believed that the US shouldn't have to listen to another authority, except for 3. It's a moot point now, but up until 2005, 22 states allowed children to be sexy. The United States follows the treaty now, but won't promise to always to do. Children, dunce is a name to be called, but an even worse name to be the origin of. Meet Duns. Not popular in his time, later scholars looked down on his teachings as clever. They were so critical, in fact, they took Duns and turned his name into a noun, meaning a stupid person. A dunce. What can't a name be? Mononymous people only peeps. You can't name your kid Apple or North or Moon Unit. You can name your kid Football. But not everywhere. Some countries require parents to submit their parents to the government for approval. New Zealand enforces a policy in which names must be unreasonably long and should resemble an official title or rank. For example, their courts recently forbid a mother from naming her mother foot sex, but New Zealand has allowed some unusual names. Right now, in New Zealand, there are children living in New Zealand, number 666. In 1969, a Swedish couple submitted their child's name for official approval. Albin. But in protest of the naming laws in place at the time, they spelled Albin like this. It was accepted. In the United States, you can name your kid pretty much anything that includes obscenity, numerals, or symbols, which means, as Carlton Larson points out, you can't name your kid R2-D2, but you could say name your child R2-D2. You could say name your child Adolf Hitler, which Heath and Deborah Campbell did in 2006. Adolf Hitler Campbell made headlines in 2009 after a bakery refused to put his name on a cake for his 3rd birthday. 999. Shortly afterwards, child welfare officials took him and his other controversially named siblings away from their parents and placed them in foster care, where they remain to this day. His parents are self-identified Nazis, and they live in New Jersey, the latter of which makes them New Sydneyans. If they lived in Kansas, they'd be Kanser. If they lived in New York, they'd be New Nations. If they lived in Utah, they'd be States. A name based on where something is from is called a demonym, which means that names have names, which means that even names are names. Names have names, which means that names have names. Even endonyms have names. An endonym is a name given to a place. An exonym is a name given to a place by those who live. But my favorite name for a name is a word that can mean the you can hit your mother distribution of your last name across the entire earth using the public Or visualize. Studies have shown that studies may influence your studies. The name letter effect is a phenomenon in which people study on measuring a person's has been shown to be a good gauge of self-esteem. Esteem is great. Men with names with letters tend to rate themselves significantly less successful than women with names with letters, perhaps because all their lives they've been men. Half of all Americans share the same 1,712 last names. 1% of Americans have the last name Smiths. In China, half of all Americans name calling can hurt people's feelings. It's at the very bottom of Graham's hierarchy of disagreement. And at the end of the day, names are just words. As the saying goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words are merely the smallest element of language capable of containing meaning in isolation, and as such could never directly produce the 4,000 newtons of force per square centimeter required to break bones.